a woman of submission. I gave birth to Ruth. Ruth submitted to a mother-in-law. I don't know too many women that would do that. Naomi told Ruth to go to the kinsman's redeemer's field to go glean in the field. A modern day Ruth would say, look at my mother-in-law. She wants to control me. She's telling me to go and do this. She's telling me to go and do that. Who does she think she is? I didn't marry her. I married a dead son. That is the modern day Ruth. But we need to learn from these older women that says she went in the morning and she worked. And she worked, taking little breaks. She'll bring back for herself and her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law sent her back, says, dress yourself up nicely and go. When it's nighttime, lay at the feet of Boaz. At the feet of Boaz. I dress up. I put on cologne, I put on nice dress, and I go lay down at the feet. Not beside him, not in front of him. That's the modern day woman. But there is humility. Humble yourself, and God will lift you up. Humble yourself, women. I cannot submit and say, well, he lashes at me. He does this. Just a few days ago, about a week ago or something, I was coming from work and my husband was like, oh, baby, I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, blah. You're the best thing, this and that. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then he said, did you stop by the store to get what I asked for? I said, of course I did. He said, oh, so you went to where I said, no, I didn't go there. I went to get it. And he said, you don't listen. He doesn't even know this. That just went through me like, something like I'm like, what does he think he's talking to? This is so condescending. You don't listen. I'm not his child. I'm his wife. You don't listen. You don't listen. But you know what? I did not even say anything. I took a minute. See, you got to be intentional, deliberate. I did not went into that. This is a man that just finished. I'm talking about this from 1 minute to appreciating to the next minute. You don't listen. But you know what I held on to? I held on to those nice things. And I said, we'll talk about that one another day. Because right now, I'm feeling high. See, you got to learn how to fight. The fight does not begin because he said those words. And if you ask him, it is not personal. It is not against my person, but it was my behavior. I could have said, well, if you wanted me to go to that place exactly, you should have put it in your text. Because he sent me a text and he sent me a WhatsApp, but did not say where to go. So I could make that argument. But I decided not to walk into it. And that's the same thing we women need to do. We need to put on the brakes. See, we got to learn how to fight. A lot of women, they do the street fight. The street fight where everybody's there, you're throwing punches up and down. There's no rule, and then everybody's going. Then you have some critics on there, some encouragers saying, don't listen to him. He shouldn't talk to you that way. He's not your father. He's not this. They start to minister that to you. But you got to learn the rules of fighting. The boxers get in the ring, and they have rules. Cannot hit below the belt. You cannot spit. You cannot bite. Mike Tyson tried that. It didn't work out well for him. And that's the same thing in marriage too. Just because he said something, but that's his perception, not mine. So why don't I take the time to explain to him? Because here's the thing about fighting in the ring. There's a referee. You fight for 3 minutes, and the referee comes and say, go sit down on one side. And that's the same thing in marriage. If you learn how to fight the good fight, it will save you a lot of pain. Because they have referee, and we have him as our referee. He is the author of marriage. He created marriage. He wrote the script, not you. And so, if you understand how to fight, because it's inevitable, there will be fight, but you got to learn how to fight fair. So I decided not to say anything that day, and I let it go. And as we speak, I mentioned it one day and said, oh, you sure didn't mention to me where you wanted me. He said, well, we talked about that before, but that's the difference. We are always going to have differences, but let's not turn it into the war of the roses. Amen?